Hi, my name is Anna Jo. Today we are going to talk about a notorious yet helpful element, radium. Both its good and bad sides are going to be discussed later. So, radium. Its element symbol is simply Ra. Listed on the second group and seventh period, radium is a metal, of course. Just like most of the metals, it looks silvery white. Not really. In most cases it readily reacts with nitrogen when it is exposed to air. Just like this chemical equation, 3 radium reacts with 1 nitrogen, forming radium nitride. Therefore, we can observe the black surface layer on it. Let's move on to its other properties. As you can see, radium has high melting point and boiling point, so it is solid in normal temperature. In addition, radium is the heaviest known alkaline earth metal and the only radioactive one of its group. When it comes to isotopes, radium has up to 33 kinds of isotopes, yet the 4 most common ones are 223, 224, 226, and 228. They occur naturally in the decay chains of other elements. Next, let's talk about its history. We all know that radium was discovered by the Curies. They are quite famous in science history. What's interesting is that they found it in a uraninite sample from Jachimov. Just like this black thing. They removed uranium from it at first, and then found the remaining material was still radioactive. They soon discovered this radioactive mixture consists of 2 components. One is barium, which gave a brilliant green flame color, and unknown radioactive compounds which gave carmine spectral lines that had never been documented, that is, what we call radium today. However, the Curie encountered many challenges since it took another 10 years for them to isolate pure radium. They themselves had faced lots of health problems later. Long-term exposure to radioactive materials left them severe diseases. Pierre Curie found himself hard to stand upright and was diagnosed neurasthenia and prescribed strychnine. And the skin on Marie's fingers was cracked and scarred. They were finally awarded Nobel Prize in Physics and they deserve it. Then we are going to discuss its application. The isotope radium-223 was approved by the United States Food and Drug Administration in 2013 for use in medicine as a cancer treatment of bone metastasis. Its chloride is under the trade name Xofigo. The main indication of treatment with Xofigo is the therapy of bony metastases from castration-resistant prostate cancer due to the favorable characteristics of this alpha-emitter radiopharmaceutical. It is like, the radium-223 can emit alpha particles to shatter cancer cells in the bone metastasis. On top of that, its radioactive property also helps. Radium can serve as a radiation source in some industrial radiography devices to check for flawed metallic parts, similar to X-ray imaging. Another fun fact is that in Beitou in Taiwan, well known for its hot spring, there is a special stone, hercutolite, which is the only mineral named after a Taiwanese place. And in hercutolite, you can also find radium-228, contributing to its radioactive feature. Helpful as radium is, it has a notorious story. That is radioactive quackery and radium fad, along with all kinds of luminescent paint and radium cosmetics. From food, toothpaste, watches and clocks, to standard radium solution for drinking and various brands featuring radium products. No matter what it is, anything labeled radium would become a bestseller, while these products were for sure not safe to use at all. People at that time simply look at radium's potential of curing cancers but had little ideas about its toxin and danger when overexposed to it. These products were soon abandoned but still, a wide range of harm had been made. The production of the luminescent watch comes with another long story, the Radium Girls. In the early 1920s, U.S. Radium Corporation, USRC, hired approximately 70 women to perform various tasks including handling radium. The girls had no protection but the owners and the scientists familiar with the effects of radium carefully avoided any exposure to it themselves. The girls even licked the pen to better paint the radium-lit watch faces and instruments. They knew little about the danger and were misled to believe that it was safe. Dentists were among the first to see numerous problems among dial painters. Dental pain, loose teeth, lesions, and ulcers, and the failure of tooth extractions to heal were some of these conditions. Many of the women later began to develop anemia, bone fractures, and radium jaw. They protested, yet US Radium and other watch dial companies rejected claims that the affected workers were suffering from exposure to radium. Syphilis, a notorious sexually transmitted infection at the time, was often cited in attempts to smear the reputations of the women. The story of the radium will never be forgotten. May them rest in peace. And this is the end of my brief introduction to radium. Thanks for listening.